Hey everybody, good afternoon. So we got CoreWeave earnings. They were pumping, dumping. We got PPI retail sales coming up this week. Welcome to the channel. We got Don, Rob, Catherine, Ivan, Ed, Gary, Craig, Diana, Will, Pauline, Frank, Kimberly, my favorite subscriber. Hey everybody, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. Don't buy stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries, bonds. I mean, this whole thing, this presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any of those. So if you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor, which is not what I'm doing, not even pretending to be one on YouTube. So jumping over and looking at everything here. CoreWeave, CRWV. We've got it dropping right there. Right back down. Right back down for size. And let's look at some of the other earnings. Let's see, I think they were right here. So we've got this cooking right here. We got Rigetti. I think it was down. Kava. I'm not sure what we're doing. Let's pull it up and check. Let's see. First off, RGTI. And just down slightly. They were rallying earlier. Now back down where they were. Not really a major anything. Kava. Ooh, big miss. Lower low. Ouch. That's what you get riding under the roadmap line. Kind of riding down. And we had that down here as a target. It may come down here. That's why I haven't really jumped into it despite it looking potentially bottoming, but there you go. There you go. I should watch my own patterns sometimes. HRB. Yeah, not great. Double down, DDI. Yeah, not really moving. I'm not sure why that would be on the list. ATX. That looks pretty bad too. Yeah. DVRA. Coming back to the roadmap line, looks like. All right, for the morning, ARCO. I don't even know. Arcos Dorados. And that'll be the morning. Looks like bad. Eat. Brinker International. Back to the roadmap line. Is it going to hold? If it holds right there, this could be good for a pop up here. Saw some news on Bros just a minute ago. And lower high. Not really performing. D low. Tomorrow. Let's see. What else? What else looks interesting on here? SSYS. And nothing. RRGB. Red ramen. Yum. Kind of dead. Doesn't look like a big mover. AG on Thursday. JD on Thursday. DE on Thursday. AMCR. Oh, too many letters. AMCR. No O. CR. It's right there. I see it. That's the one. That's the one I want. That looks like downtrend. Yeah, it looks bad. Nice. Does not look very nice. AAP, Advanced Auto Parts, coming in on Thursday morning. Golly, that's such a different chart than AutoZone or O'Reilly's. So beat down. That was not right. AutoZone. AZO. That's what I was looking for. Look at that, 4,000. Ridiculous. And O'Reilly. They did a stock split. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful there, but They're both topping out. Let's see, BIRK, Birkenstock was hot. Now it's kind of not. Just real choppy. Can't get out of this, stuck in the mud. We're probably going to make a lower low like this. The way this is all probably going to come down here at some point before we can find a bottom and get going. SanDisk. That's been around for a while. I don't know why. That's weird. It's odd that there's not more history on the chart. And new. It looks like we might go down AMAT. And that could pop 206 near-term target, and then like 260 if we can really get moving. But it's going to take a while. Take a while to get there. All right, that's kind of what's happening the rest of the week here, looks like. So that's what we got cooking. All right. Now a good time to chase. I have no idea what you're asking. Now a good time to chase. Chase what? SPX almost to that target. Craziness. Absolute craziness. And what target was that? Well, jump down just a time frame here. We ran a fib from this high right there to this low right there. And we're almost to that 61 or 64.60 target that I mentioned. We might just go blasting right on up to this target right up here, right around 65.60. That'd be another 100 points up. Absolute crazy. Crazy, keep being crazier. But once the music stops, it's going to be a drastic drop. So be careful. Careful out there. Everybody's like, should I buy hedges on SPX? It's not a great idea unless you can ride it up for another 100 points. QQQ, not a great one either. Unless you can ride that up for potential, gosh, what is that? 10 points at least, if not 20, 30 points. So it's kind of crazy how S&P was always the smaller one. Now it's bigger than QQQ because of the 41x multiplier on NDX. So NDX might be pushing on out to 24,000. We'll see. Absolute nuts. All right. So the rules of the game. Channel members get all the requests they want. And please, one ticker per person per request. I'm going to sit here and do it as long as I can. And we'll go. So after I get through all the channel members, I'll circle back around, pick up the subscribers. Remember, one per person per request. Please use all capitals. Please don't just put in some company name and I have no idea how to pull it up. I need the ticker that I can pull up on TradingView. And if you have a question, please use a complete sentence. No this, that, these, or those. Please use a complete sentence about a ticker or company and ask the question. Thanks, and we'll stick to mostly the daily time frame. And we'll see what we can do. All right, BMNR. Bit minor. That looks like a rough chart. Qualifies as dumpster fire with 2 reverse splits. I wouldn't touch it. Wouldn't touch it. USAR. And it's another quite choppy, nasty chart right there. Be very cautious on these things. Can it run? Yes. Why would it run? That's a good question. Makes no money. Infinite price to sales. Infinite PE. Has 0 sales, 0 P. I mean, why would you touch this? Danger, 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 danger. This is just speculation. I mean, it's gambling. Gambling playing with that one. Don't freaking gamble. Come on. CCOY. Well, that looks like we're going to the toilet. Dear gosh. Why would you... Why? Why would you get involved in this? Are you trying to short it to 0? I mean... Got that high. We got that initial drop. We got this recovery. And then we're down to extensions. And we're probably going to go down to like 20. Is what that looks like. Could it be a bottom? Maybe. I mean, do you want to catch a falling knife? Because that's what that is. That can just go on down. Like this one, right? Do you want to try to guess if that's the bottom, or do you want to lose all your money? I mean, highly likely that goes on down. Just be careful out there. It's your money. I mean, you can do what you want. UNH, you know, that's a down chart right there. Could it be the bottom? Sure, but could it go lower? Absolutely. Absolutely. We can break through the COVID lows, and where's the next support? Down here. So that's a long way down. You'd be like, no way. No way it goes from like where we were at 650 down to like 60. Yeah, well, I've seen it before. Even on great companies. There was somebody I was on a show with earlier today. It was like, you know, it's a great company. It can't go out of business. I was like, I've heard that before. Once high flyers can go down to almost out of business. Be careful out there. Yeah, everybody's betting on this one, getting some big piece of the new potential Trump being soft on weed. They don't even sell anything in the U.S. market. Like, that's what's so funny right here. That's like they have no exposure to U.S. market. So the U.S. easing federal regulations on marijuana, like they don't need, like they're gonna have to invest in coming to the U.S. market. They don't even play here. So why would that matter? Like that's just, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyway, be careful. I mean, it's your money, right? Your money. All right, Oklo, another ridiculous one. You look at how much money they make. Zero. Zero sales, zero revenue, infinite price to sales, infinite revenue. That means these numbers are just make-believe right here. It's at a target, at resistance. Watch out for a pullback. These things with zero revenue, if we get a big hiccup, like what happened in 99, what happened in 2007, funny enough, both of those kind of events seem like they're coming together at the same time where we are right now with commercial real estate, and then we've got all this like crazy AI valuation stuff, blend it together. Maybe we have the bigger, badder financial crisis. Stuff like this that has zero revenue usually gets gutted immediately. Can lose 90, 95% of its value like that. So be careful where you're putting your money. Netflix, looks like we're going on up for the target. Resistance right there. Before we come on down, right there. That's the path. Working its way up, and then we come on down. That's what I expect. GDRX. That's another. Surprised there's no reverse split or anything, but this. Where's the bottom? What are you trying to do? Catch a knife? It's not a great idea. That hit the roadmap line. And we're going down to low single digits. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. I wouldn't bet on that doing anything. Except maybe getting bought out, but still it looks pretty bad. AUR. And we're just kind of hanging. Hanging. This can take a turn down. These look pretty bad. Everybody, I don't know. KNSL. If I skip anything, just let me know. KNSL is filling out this, but we broke down below the bottom. If we get below this stuff over here, it's probably going on a big downturn. It's been in this squeeze thing for a little while, almost 2 years. Now I'm breaking out the bottom. That could potentially lead to a big correction. Support zone. Potentially right down back here if we go down that far. So like, what could the downside be? That right there. 200. 50% downside. No big deal, right? No big deal. TMC. And if you're not a channel member, you get 3 picks. If you're just a subscriber, and I'll come back and pick you up after I get to the bottom of the channel members. So TMC looks like we're coming down for the roadmap line. Retest. If we don't hold it, we can fold it on down further. Yeah, look at that. Probably going to come back and back test that support across there. That would be my guess. UAL. Yeah. SanDisk got a new ticker. Western Digital did spin off. Yeah. But they were like standalone, and then they got bought out or something. I don't know. Like SanDisk. I'm bullish on UL if we can break above that 76. They got some stuff cooking though, so be careful. But that could be the upside right there. I was looking for this correction, but doesn't look like you're doesn't look like we're gonna do that. So keep on pushing higher. Now this could be 5 up at any point, and we could get the bigger retrace. So be careful. DL, same kind of thing. I was looking for the pullback, but might just go bullish. And then AAL, not the same pattern. So lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Be careful on this one. Fly. Certainly doesn't look too good. And ALK. Let's kind of look at the sector, you know. So they failed to break out here. Returned back down. Failed to break down. So it's kind of interesting. Like, can they... But it overlapped. See this? It was like a 1, 2, 3. Should have held up here. 4 and 5, but it didn't. It came down and overlapped. So now it's like, what's going to happen next? This might retrace back up here to a 618 and then turn down lower low. I would be careful. I don't like that pattern right there. That is a dangerous pattern. Unless we break above here, then we're okay. If we break down below here, it's probably going lower low than that back there. All right, where was I? UAL, TZA. I'm burning through them today. That's a 3x bear. Boom, 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 boom. 3x leverage. So leverage stuff. Be careful. Doesn't always chart. Don't really have anything for you. That's just they reverse split and go down. So over time, guess what the trend is? Down, 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 down. Small cap bears. Until we get some sort of drop in the market, this is going in the garbage. Cost. So Costco has this potential correction. 1, 2. So we've got this, potential to come down here, cooking from over here. Now, does it have to? No, it doesn't have to. But this looks like a first move down, a retrace. So here's the high, here's the low. Watching for this resistance right in here. And if we turn down, that'll probably get we may exceed this target right here. If we turn down there. First move, second move, third move. Yeah, we may come to the absolute bottom of this right here. Retrace slightly, and then get a final little move right here before we can find the bottom of this. If we're going to do this whole big correction. And be careful. This thing went on a monster run after it broke out of the watermelon seed squeeze back here. And this little correction, it'd be like a nothing burger type of correction after that big run. Be careful. I wouldn't touch it for right now. Not my kind of bag, baby. This one going on up scraping the bottom of my target way earlier than I thought it would. I thought this was going to take a while. Dang. So 194, 263. If we're going to, this is actually a big bullish, going to get some continuation. That's what we're looking for. Right now, this is doing the kind of bullish things I would expect. No pullbacks, though, so that makes it really difficult. So if we're going to pop it on higher, there you go. Those are the upsides from where we are on STX. Bearish, not really bearish on that one at all right now until we hit our head somewhere. We're sitting at all-time highs. Breaking out, ripping. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Took 8 months to consolidate, so it didn't actually meet the pattern I've been talking about on the morning show. Right. You may say, well, what's this pattern you're talking about? So right here, when a stock gets new 52-week highs right here, after it's been consolidating for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, 3 to 6 months after making an all-time high right here, we get a 6-month consolidation, and then we break out to new 52-week highs. Typically, these stocks that do this will get 6 to 12 months of continued outperformance to the upside, usually exceeding the S&P 500 by, say, 30% or so. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So when you find this, and you'll be like, how do you find these, right? You just pull up a list of 52-week highs, which you can do that on Market Chameleon. Right here. Click on the stocks at new 52-week highs. You go to stocks, go down here, 52-week highs. It's in here. And you just jump on those. 52-week highs and lows right there. This is the highs tab. You can look at the lows tab, but the highs tab, 300 new, 300 new today. Let's see what we had. 600 new today. That's a bunch. As the day went on, the list got bigger. So then you can just jump through here and find, you know, you can sort by price, sort by volume, sort by however you want to sort by it. Look at the biggest, hottest ones today. Grab everything over 1 million. Start looking at those. So if they did this pattern on a monthly chart, 3 to 6 months of consolidation, then broke out higher. So other ones, you're like, well, what are the other opportunities, right? C limited. Check this out. Just do it a quick, like 3-month consolidation, breaking out new all-time highs. You're like, well, that doesn't look like it's. We're only looking at the last 12 months. 52-week highs here. Don't get too concerned about all that. You know, this one can take us up here. All right. So, LITE, another one. This one pushing the limit. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we broke out. So, got really close, but then look on back, and this could keep going. So, hot stocks right there. Interesting, right? All right, moving on. And PPLT, 160 still the target. PPLT. Nothing really changed on platinum. Still the same target. It's just consolidating. In May, there's the possibility that we rally back up here and come down to the roadmap line before we do that. But that's what looks like is probably going to happen. Maybe out to next year. Could take a little while. So depends on how long you can stay solvent in that position. And that is the bottom of the channel members. I'll circle back up, pick up the subscribers. It seems like we have quite the small crowd today. Not even breaking 100. All right. So GJT. Sitting down here, holding a higher low. Resistance right here and right here. That prior high. And then right here at the roadmap line. If we can get through that, we got a bigger upside fish to fry. But if we don't, watch out for a bounce down right there. And MP. Yeah, we're at ridiculous levels here. But Yeah, the last consolidation was back here. So we're at ridiculous levels. Watch out. Be careful. Got that high. We got that low. Sitting at the 1448. 92 would be the next upside. Right here. Big picture. Pull back. And 92. Easy peasy lemon squeezy on that one. And ramp. And watch out. Like that's higher lows, lower highs. That's a watermelon seed squeeze. We break out the bottom, going down, break out the top, maybe going up. Otherwise, we just may fill out the rest of this triangle. So fill out the triangle is what I expect. Until we get a breakout that maintains, sets new highs, or break down, sets new lows. Like Tesla is a prime example of this. Let me zoom this back up. Trying to break out, broke out, back tested. So far, we've been able to hold. If we break that back down inside, yikes. But if we can hold here, going higher. Going higher. So that's that one. And did I do AUR? I don't remember. Yeah, it was going nowhere. Ramp. What's the one we were just doing? Chewy. So that basically did the A, B, C right into the perfect proportions. We held right at the 1272 times A. There's this resistance. There's the next resistance. And then there's the target. If we break down further, this low might be where we're going and possibly an extension. That's chewy for you. Bitcoin's not a company, though. So you can say, well, Bitcoin has no revenue. Bitcoin's not a company. Gold has no revenue. Gold's not a company. Silver has no revenue. Silver's not a company. It's a commodity. Bitcoin's a commodity. So don't act like it's the same thing. STM. Bitcoin also has to pay no paychecks. But Oklo has to make payroll. So STM under the roadmap line. Be careful. That can lead to further downside. Now, if we can hold the 618 right here, potential to break out. But we rejected that downtrend of highs before. It's not good. No bueno. This has been intact for 2 years. Failed to break out. Drop back down. If we can hold, this is very important. We got to hold this zone right here. If we can hold it, come back up, get through that, back through that high, that sets the stage for going higher again. If we don't, probably going to make a lower low than that low right back there in April. GE Veranova just keeps rocking and rolling. Next upside target, 929. Talking about unlocking value on that one. ANET, there's the upside targets. 150 right there. Dun, 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 dun. DCTH. And yeah, that doesn't look too that reverse splits hiding back there. Garbage. Absolute garbage. Probably coming back down to lows eventually. Resistance probably sitting up here at around 20s, 21. Be careful. Companies that have a history of being poor managers of their stock price, and this has more than one reverse split hanging out back here. See more of these back here. They're a poor manager of stock price, shareholder value. Unlikely to ever change that. So be careful. LZ, Legal Zoom, still downtrend highs. I would be very careful chasing something like this. Right there. A-Lab. And 199 next upside targets. Potentially 294 above that. ELTR. Pushing that. Trying to push through that 186 zone. Cool. Deleted the wrong thing. Pushing through 232 would be the next upside. Be careful here. They are getting way over, I mean, like 136 years. Look at that. All of their sales, we're not talking about any, we're not talking about earnings. We're talking about all of their sales, 136 years. You're like, oh, they can grow into that. All right. They can grow into that. How many times do they got to grow their revenue before that comes back down to a reasonable under 30? That's a lot. They got to grow revenue a lot. So how many potential governments are bigger than the United States that Palantir can work for and then get a bunch more contracts? Mostly government, a little bit of commercial. I mean, they got to pick up a bunch more commercial jobs to grow this revenue. Now, I'm not saying that it won't be crazy and can't go higher, but this is, again, in the same classification as very little earnings for that sky high valuation. If something hiccups in the markets, watch out for the correction. My warning. Next upside, 232. And rolling down through the chat, FCX. So funny enough, copper been pretty rocking and rolling. HG1 exclamation point. But we just took a big spill, right? It's funny. Trump announces tariffs on copper, big pop. Trump announces tariffs on copper and big drop. That's weird. So maybe that played out. This went all the way back down pretty severely, pretty nastily. Here's our low we're working with right now. This went down to a 76. Could it possibly hold there and go again? Sure, it's possible. Does it look very likely at the moment? Not too great. Now, higher high, higher high, higher high. Good. Going back to FCX. Lower high, lower high. It's a different story here. Be careful. The trend is down. How low can she go? She can go right back down to the 20s. That's like 50% haircut. Gone. I wouldn't chase that. It's not for me. I mean, I gave you a whole list of awesome potential stuff. It's like, yeah, but your 52-week high list, that's too expensive. All right, cool. You don't have to look at the expensive stuff. Look, here's ONDS. That was a 52-week high. 33 bucks. ETHA. That's probably Ethereum Trust. We've got Robinhood in there. We've got KGC in there. Some of these will be good. Some of them won't. TME. Barrick Mining. That's a pretty good one. BE. Bloom Energy. That's in there. CDE. You just look for the 52-week highs. 3 to 6 months of consolidation. Maybe like, what if we don't have 1 month of consolidation? You got to be careful. If we've already been broken out and we're already like 3 months in, you've only got like 3 to 9 months left. Right? It could end at any time. So Lamb Research in here. So this is, and there's like 20 pages of this. You can keep going. I sorted by volume. So these are the higher volume stuff. Highly recommend on staying in things that have volume above 1 million. As you can see, we roll down through here. Celsius in here. I've liked that one. It's going on a nice run. So, got to be careful though. Some of this stuff can get you. And remember, ETFs don't necessarily have earnings. They're made up of companies. So, just be careful. Tempest AI, not breaking up. We've got the high in place, the low in place here. We're finding a lot of resistance at these uprights. This can be an A wave down, a B wave up, and we could be working on a C wave down that goes lower than this low. Right there, I would be cautious. The AI bubble might pop anytime. Pony. It started out right here, and now we're basically gone nowhere in a year. Almost a year, 11 months. Doesn't make me feel great. I don't know, you can see right here. Very little earnings. And when the going got tough, this evaporated the value here. We went from that down to here in Liberation Day. We came back up, and watch out. Yikes. So that was 3 up at the resistance. A, B, potential to go down for C. See, watch this. Just in case you're not seen this before. Here's the high, here's the low. There's the 618. We had a big gap down too. This is a giant resistance right here. We just happen to find resistance at the resistance. Turn down. This was a 3-wave up into that point right there. These kind of things combine together to create the potential for a first move down, a retrace, and a next move down. The first move being this size. Next move being this size right there. There's your target down here around 28. Be careful. That looks like it has more downside to go. Right there. A, B, C. Absolutely beautiful correction. If it plays out. Left lots of gaps in there, so be careful. And Reddit. RDBT. Somebody was talking about me on Reddit. Kimberly found it last night. It's pretty cool. There's positive things. So if you're watching me and you saw me on or you mentioned me on Reddit, thank you. I appreciate it. There's the upside, 269. Got through the resistance. Just gapped on through. Rock and roll, baby. Upside. Eventually, this will probably make a lower low. Back down here at some point, sometime. But right now, going higher. And ABB. ABV. Let's clear this up. So we got this high. We got this low. We're sitting here at this resistance. Now, this could potentially be an A, B, C correction until we can get through here. Now, there's a gap right there. That's what I'd be watching. So instead of this whole big zone, like it, could turn down off that zone. If we can get through this gap, which is where we're finding resistance, we get through that. And did it reconnect? Anybody still here? The whole thing went kaput. Look at that beautiful white. Anybody still here? Anybody at all? Cool. Oh, snap. There we go. Pull it back up. But we don't have anybody. Looks like the live stream broke. Darn. Technology. Let's see if... Welcome to the live stream land. It says we're still on. Yeah, there. Okay, so my chat's disconnected. Y'all still here? I had to. My chat is not connected, but I see everybody. All right, cool. Cool. Yeah, man. It literally, like, it crashed and closed all the windows. That was cool. All right. Where was I? TTD, Reddit, ABPV. That one. Docu. Let's see. Will it let me type? There we go. Docu. That's the first time I've been able to resurrect a stream too. So Docu. Look at that. A, B. This is why I warn about this. C could take us down here. So all the other things notwithstanding here, check it out. I have hope that we go up when you got this right here. We turn down at the uprights. Yeah, right there. Turn down. Uh-oh. Not looking good. First move down, retrace. Puts the target right down here, potentially, on Docu. And if you're upset at me, like, this was always a possibility. Like, I know. I got in. Some of you followed me. I'm sitting in it. I'm trying to make the best I can, but that may be where we're heading. Now, that all said, 1, 2, 3. And if you look at that as a 3-wave thing, could be heading on down there. So, can't guarantee anything. We did bounce off the roadmap line right there and went on down. So, somewhere down in here is probably the support. We're just going to have to wait for it right there. Now, it could bottom at any point. The upside is pretty good, but we did poke a lower low. That's not good. It's not good for immediate upside. That means we are likely pushing on down in here before we turn and burn. Alrighty. Now I gotta look further over because my chat's all messed up. Let's see, Microsoft. I go through that one every morning. Probably working on this correction back down either here, here, or here before we go up and hit that. Kind of missed. We got really darn close to tagging it. Looks kind of cool with the emoji right there, but didn't actually hit that target level. It's 565, I believe. Yeah, 565. Came up just shy. Kind of happens. It's only 35% likely that we actually hit that level without going all the way back down. So be careful. 508 was the target for me. So next up, Lulu. Limon. Ouch. Going on down. Where's the target? Right down here. Ah. Dang, moving that freaking alert. Why is that? Where did I have it? I had it at 168, I'm pretty sure. Oh my gosh. Come on. Won't let me lock it, huh? Cool. You can lock other things, but you can't lock alerts. Awesome. Love it. You can drag them, but you can't lock them. Beautiful. So I'm actually looking for this to dip right down here. Why? Why, you say? 1, 2, 3. Puts it right down here. Plus that retrace and extension. So we go Now, the way this is going, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we might get a 5, and we might go even deeper. So I'm not just buying at 160. I'm looking for it to hold support here, but it might fake us out and go even deeper. So be careful. That 618 of the whole big move up. Coming back to... Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Could put us right back to 120. That'd be a pretty good spot. And then we go up again. And look at those numbers. So, gotta wait for it. It's not ready. You can play the downside if you want to, but that's not even guaranteed. We could bottom at any point. Could find a bottom. 1, 2, 3. It's just not very proportional at this very moment for that to be the bottom. JEPQ is not like there's no charting to that really. It's just turn this on, adjust for dividends, and we're at all-time highs. It's just a grind higher. As long as you wait for the dividend, going higher. So adjust for the dividends. You can't chart these high dividend pairs in the same way. Now, what do I expect? When they have the AGJ button on, 57.59, at least you see it did a pullback and a continuation, pullback and a continuation, probably do a pullback and a continuation. Had a little rough start back here in 2022. Another one, Jeffry. This one hadn't quite made it out to new highs yet. So, there you go. PPI. Yeah, working on the reversal there. Holding above. So it has no pullback yet. We just have a move up off the low. That low was a lower low. So I'm looking for some sort of pullback into this vicinity to set it up right there. If it doesn't do that, I'm just going to keep waiting. I'm not chasing anything. And if you may watch Mud Madness, it's on at night. Pretty good show. And CMG, thought I'd hit that one, but we are right down in the mix. Thought I already covered this. A, B, C, but the C has 3 waves so far. Could go deeper. So that's a bummer. That high, that low, right there. We hit the 618. Coming down, if we get to the 37 area here, that likely means we're going to go one more. Kind of sucky, but that's what we got. Kind of sucky, but that's what we get. So there's the A, B, the C pushing that limit, and we may go even further down because it's just looking gnarly right there. Now this all could be an A, B, C of an A, higher degree. Then we do a 3-wave correction back up here for a B. And then we get a bigger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down for a C. And that would be kind of sucky too. So probably going to punch out. We get a move back up into the roadmap line vicinity back up in here. Back when it gets real profitable. So there you go. Probably going to be in that one a little while. And CLSK. Guess what? Broke through the roadmap line. Down. Down, down, down. Back to the lows. It's the way that one looks. Possibly hold a 618 retrace, but not good. Hood Probably going on out. Big picture. Big picture. Let's see. So it's hard to do anything off the low because this pullback, like what was this high? Like we don't have the chart over here. So we don't know if this came down from something higher or we came up to that and then retraced. Like you don't know. You can't make an EWAG. Like that just doesn't work. So we came up to all-time high. Now, could we go on out? Sure. Now, that pattern I talked about a few minutes ago, though. Look at this. We found 1, 2, 3 months consolidating right there and broke out. But we're 3 months in. So we might only have 3 to 9 months left of outperforming. That's the same pattern. Look, and it did it multiple times right here. Like, did a run, consolidate, did a run, consolidate, doing a run. What's next? Potential consolidate before we run again. So we might get another one of these pullbacks. How would you know how big it might be? Copy the last one. Might be coming up into a resistance point right in that vicinity right there. That would be where I'd be careful. Watch out as we get right there. Might enter into another consolidation. This is just Echo Trades 101. This is the pattern I made a bunch of money on. That pullback right there, same size as that pullback right there. Might be the same size. We might get a pullback back down to the 70 area. From here, back down here, before we go up again. Just be careful. It's kind of crazy how this stuff works. All right. Jumanji, I don't know. Whatever. That looks like an absolute horrible chart. Lower high, lower high. I wouldn't touch it. Lowest low. Nope. Till we get some sort of move that makes a higher high and we hold a higher low on a pullback, that could still not be bottomed out. Entirely possible that we're not bottomed out yet. So that's not for me. There's not much I can offer there. And let's see. A few more tickers. Hey, Goose, late to the party. ALB. We only said bad things about you, my man. And ALB, hit resistance. Turn down. If we break below that low, going lower low. It's possible that was the bottom. This is the upside resistance up here, 109. Anything in between is ambiguous and can still lead to a lower low. So it's a big range, but that's not a reversal setup yet. We're like, well, this looks like it broke through the roadmap line and retraced and kind of holding it. And the problem is this was very overlapping. Like that high and this low overlap. That's not bullish price action. That's not reversal type price action. So that's more conducive of continuation lower, actually. So I'm not touching it. Yeah, this was a fake out right here, right here. Let's move up, retrace, move up, retrace. Got really close, moved up again, and then went down the toilet. So that pushed the limits right there. This move, that retrace, that was a 1, 2. That was a 3. That was a 4. And that was a 5. That was impulsive. This right here looks corrective. Not easy to count, but that looks kind of like an A. Very sloppy A. That looks like a B. Might get a C. Pops up right up in here. And then return to the trend, which is down because this is impulsive. That's a downtrend. I don't like it. Crocs. Yep, went lower low. Resistance, 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 resistance. I mean, it gave you all the signs that might go low, might go lower. How low can she go? Go to 0. So at this point, guess where we might be heading. Let me show you. First move down was aggressive. The retrace, 3 waves, just lackluster. And now potentially working on the C wave down. Somewhere in this 30 to 40 area would be my guess. Where we might eventually come up to the bottom, and it may be somewhere out mid to late next year. That's what it looks like on Crocs. Merc. I was potentially bullish on Crocs. Didn't hold up. Didn't pass the muster. Merc still below the roadmap line until we get above it. Still has potential to break down and go lower. If we can break above, get that continuation that I've been looking for up here at a 98, then hold a pullback and go higher. Good. If we don't, still downward potential. We've been pushing below the roadmap line for a long time here. Tried. Didn't even quite get close. Tried. Now we're just sitting here. Can we push through? Or are we going down? So I traded aggressively here because it looked like it was going to come back up to the roadmap line. Now it's on the not touching it list for me for right now. And FSLR, probably going to trade higher on the hype. Solar stuff, maybe 208, 218 into the bigger 618, and then we'll see what happens. And VST 224 still the upside target. 247 above that. Tesla already did. Mara potential drop. I do Tesla every morning. Mara under the roadmap line, potential to go down just like CLSK. Keeps making sucky. I'm pretty sure I already did TEM. Yeah, already did TEM. BTBT, still sucky. Holding above the roadmap line though, but I don't like that. Not great. Gonna have to get higher highs here. There's your resistance points. Like 370 and 440, 450. And support that low right there. 265. We get below it. Easily come back down. Miners aren't looking very healthy. Just not. And Alcoa potentially made the bottom right there, but didn't hold great proportions. Here's the low. I got to move that up so I can get the high. I traded it right back based on the fact we've kind of bottomed out here. Traded into the roadmap line. Then I quit. I need to see it do some more bullish things for me. It's got to make a higher high. Take little pot shots at some of these. So at this point, was that the end? Got to move down, a retrace, and move down, a retrace. Overlap. This is all corrective looking. Might not be done on the downside. Might go on down to 15. So far, no upside. We actually broke through the uptrend of lows. Coming back for our back test. This is danger. right here. That can easily turn down like that. Be careful. Be careful. These are all part of corrective patterns that I watch. Keep an eye on. T-Mobile. Guess what? Broke through the downtrend highs. That's where I expect it to go. Almost set up for a daily chart entry, although it has a gap down right there. So I'd be careful. And sometimes they don't give you the best entries. So I'd be careful. Has a nice upside potential right there. 283 with the targets. It does have that gap down resistance, and we may experience another trip back down to the roadmap line. Right there. Alrighty, and that's the list. That's it. Thanks for coming, everybody. We're gonna wrap it up. Have a great day. See you in the morning. New video coming out early tomorrow. Check it out. Channel members, you have access now. If you're not a channel member, well, you'll see it in the morning. Have a great day.